Welcome to this LET review on inquiry-based learning. IBL is built around one idea. Students learn best when they are genuinely curious, actively investigating, and building their own understanding through evidence and reasoning. Instead of receiving answers, students ask questions. Instead of being told, they discover. The teacher's role shifts from presenter to facilitator, guiding the inquiry rather than directing the learning. For each of the 8 questions here, we will go through the question type, the strategy, and a clear explanation of the answer. Let's go. Type 1. Best answer. Read all options before deciding. Ask yourself which one captures all 3 defining features of IBL: questioning, investigation, and constructing understanding. A. Students learn by asking questions, investigating problems, and constructing understanding. All 3 are there. This is the most complete and accurate description. B. Memorizing facts without asking questions. Memorization without questioning is the opposite of inquiry. C. The teacher gives answers before students explore. This shuts down inquiry before it begins. IBL is about students working toward answers, not receiving them. D. Worksheets without discussion or investigation. Passive task completion with no inquiry process. The answer is A. When you see best, the right answer is the most complete one, not just the first one that sounds right. Type 2. Combination. Work through each statement one at a time. 1. Students ask questions. True, this is the starting point of all inquiry. 2. Students investigate problems. True. Investigation is how students pursue the answers to their questions. 3. The teacher always gives final answers immediately. False. In IBL, the teacher does not give answers before students have had the chance to explore. Doing so shuts down the inquiry. 4. Students use evidence to support conclusions. True, IBL is evidence-based. Students do not just form opinions, they support them. With 3 identified as false, B, C, and D are eliminated. The answer is A. Type 3. Negative format. Circle accept, then check each option. Does it belong in a description of inquiry-based learning? A. Student questioning. Yes. Questions are the engine of IBL. B. Investigation of problems. Yes. Students actively pursue answers through investigation. C. Use of evidence. Yes. Conclusions must be supported by evidence, not just asserted. D. Passive acceptance of answers without inquiry? No, this is the complete opposite of IBL. A student who passively accepts whatever they are told has not engaged in any inquiry at all. The answer is D. Type 4. Priority. Think about what must exist before inquiry can begin. Curiosity and questioning require something to be curious about. A question, a problem, a mystery. A. Present a problem or question that students can investigate. This is the launching point of every IBL lesson. Without a question to pursue, there is no inquiry. B. Give the final answer immediately. This eliminates inquiry by removing the purpose of investigation. C. Ask students to memorize the textbook only. Memorization is a different approach entirely. D. Skip discussion and give a test. You cannot assess inquiry before it has taken place. The sequence is: launch the question arrow, investigate and gather evidence arrow, analyze and conclude arrow, communicate findings. The answer is A. Type 5. Situational students are investigating why some plants grow better than others. This is inquiry in action. They have a question, and they are working toward an answer. What should the teacher do? A. Guide students to observe, collect data, and explain their findings. This is exactly the right support. The teacher does not solve the problem for the students. They help students follow the inquiry process. Observe, collect, analyze, explain. B. Give the answer before students investigate. This removes the investigation entirely. Once the answer is given, the curiosity disappears. C. Stop students from asking questions. Questions are the lifeblood of IBL. Stopping them ends the inquiry. D. Require students to copy notes only. Passive copying replaces active investigation. The answer is A. Type 6. Analogy. Relationship. Defining element or core practice. The strategy it most characterizes. Evidence is central to inquiry-based learning. Students do not just form impressions, they gather evidence, analyze it, and use it to support their conclusions. Evidence is what makes inquiry rigorous and trustworthy. Now apply the same logic. What is the core practice that most defines direct instruction? Modeling. The teacher demonstrates the skill explicitly before students attempt it. Everything else in a DI lesson builds from that demonstration. A. Direct instruction, correct. B, C, D, not teaching strategies. The answer is A. Type 7, cause and effect. The cause. The teacher always gives answers before students have a chance to explore. Trace the logical consequence. If the answer is given first, what is left to investigate? Nothing. The question is already resolved. The curiosity that drives inquiry is extinguished before it can develop. Students have no reason to observe, no need to gather evidence, and no opportunity to form and test their own conclusions. Students have fewer opportunities to investigate and think critically. This is the direct consequence. No investigation means no inquiry skills developed, no evidence evaluated, no critical thinking practiced. B. Students become more curious and investigative. Research says the opposite. Premature answers remove the intellectual challenge that produces curiosity. C. Inquiry becomes stronger. The cause describes the suppression of inquiry, not its development. D. Students automatically develop research skills. Skills developed through practice. Without inquiry, there is nothing to practice. The answer is A. Type 8. All of the above. Verify each option. A. Asking questions. Yes, questions are how inquiry begins. Students identify what they want to know. B. Gathering evidence. Yes, investigation requires evidence. Students observe, research, experiment, and collect data. C. Explaining conclusions. Yes, the final stage of inquiry is communication. Students articulate what the evidence shows and explain their conclusions to others. All three are sequential stages of the inquiry process. The answer is D, all of the above. Check every option before committing. In this case, all three are genuine. So all of the above is the right and complete answer. Quick strategy summary. Best answer. IBL equals questioning plus investigation plus constructing understanding. The right answer covers all three. Combination. Teacher gives answers immediately contradicts IBL. Find it, eliminate every option that includes it. Accept/not. Passive acceptance without inquiry is always the except in an IBL question. Priority. Launch the question first. Inquiry cannot start without something to inquire about. Situational. Hawan. Keep inquiry alive. Guide students to observe, collect, and explain. Never give the answer before exploration. Analogy. Evidence defines IBL. Modeling defines DI. Same relationship type. Cause and effect. Giving answers before exploration closes off investigation and critical thinking. All of the above. Asking, gathering evidence, and explaining conclusions are all sequential stages of inquiry. Verify each, then choose all of the above. Padayon.